Just wanted to give you a quick look at what I was seeing on the Bitcoin chart. Just to, there's a lot of people saying a lot of bearish or bullish things. Right now, it is still indecisive. The video that I put out a little bit earlier today, the same barriers are still alive, but right now I want to go down to the $94,000 mark because this is been a battle zone, right? You can just see where that's been tested, retested, and broken through so many times. Right now, what you see, Bitcoin just, and everybody says the wick. I had these lines in here, I don't know, 3 days ago when I did this chart. I always look at different charts, but I opened this up and these lines were in here, so I must have been thinking fallen wedge at some point. Although I do have to say, right now, Bitcoin is rounding, but I mean that's novices know this, right? Novices know that this is also head and shoulders and whatnot. I'm not going to go over what everybody else has been going over, but what I am going to say, as far as if this was a head and shoulders pattern, you would want to see this neckline hold here and kind of go up here, and it could even reject off of this horizontal resistance or this diagonal resistance. And if it came up, it would stay in the fallen wedge, which typically would be bullish, but it would still be considered a shoulder, right? Because if I bring these together, you can see why this is the left shoulder, this is the head, this is the right shoulder. But if this is considered a head and shoulders, which we will find out soon, that 90,000 was very serious for that to be retested the way it did. I love the wick that this caused. It was almost a perfect bounce, and it stayed inside of the falling wedge. So that says obviously that diagonal support is serious too, because the 4 hour absolutely closed on that. And the $94,000 barrier, what we're waiting for is the 4 hour and the 1 day chart to close above that 94,000. And this is making on the micro a little hook pattern like I had posted before. I think that these usually slingshot up, and it's definitely could be making its next way up towards $100,000. But that would be serious, and that would still actually be in the head and shoulders. So wouldn't that be max pain, having a little suckers rally, having this thing hit here, and then it's still a right shoulder and come back down? And that is very well possible, especially with the traders in this, right? But the bullish scenario on this would be this actually is a falling wedge, right? This 94,000 breaks, retests, this goes back up to hit that part. It might, there's some other horizontal buffer zones here that this could hit, but have it break through this falling wedge, retest, and give that enough oomph to finally get us above $100,000. Once $100,000 breaks, then it's off to the races, right? That is going to be the nemesis. That's going to be the big hurdle, is $100,000. So I just wanted to go over what the bullish and bearish scenarios possibly could be. But I think this is still going to take a long time to play out. I did say I think the inauguration is going to have something to do with it, but that could just make this move. That's in the next week or so. That could be this move right here up to the top of the falling wedge. If it's some serious news comes out, I can see this blasting up through, but right now this is going against that rounding, the head and shoulders pattern, and that head and shoulders pattern really, really needs to invalidate, and I mean soon. I'm going to put this on the daily really quick. And the reason is because I really want to bring this out a little bit more to the macro, just so I can kind of show you. And again, this is a rudimentary chart, but I did have these lines drawn for a minute, and this is just to show you where I think we're going. Now, the good thing I see here is the stock RSI is starting to stair step. It seems to have bottomed a little bit down there. So the stock RSI says that it's ready for its next move up. But like I said, that could just be the next move up. To the top of, what would be the falling wedge or that horizontal support at $100,000. And would that be the next part of the shoulder, right? It could, because that is very well, it could be, and sucker a lot of people in, and then completely dump to that $73,000 mark. Or this, I like this wick, right, on the daily. I really like that this is wicked all the way up through and has made some support right now at around $94,000, and that $94,000, that's why this was crucial. Obviously, the chart says the same thing. There is a possibility of this going up and just kind of almost fulfilling the falling wedge and then breaking out with that second thing, that second move up, and this would be considered a spring, right? So that is the other two things. It's tough because this is just in a holding pattern. I've been saying that it is going sideways. I'm not trying to get too bearish because this is a range, right? If you really looked at this, you could say, dude, there's your range. There's your trenches. That's what you're looking for. Anywhere in between that, when that's so Bitcoin, right? To go between $90,000 and $108,000, that could be a very well could be a range. That touched the bottom right here, didn't it? So this could be on its next move up to that $108,000. But the thing is you can't tell right now. So to be on both sides or to say one way would be misleading, and I'm not going to do that. I will say there are bearish things that would still point this is bearish bias. This invalidates if this left shoulder invalidates or a breakout of this falling wedge in a retest. You can see where this would be higher than this part of the shoulder, right? So that would invalidate this move, especially if it retest and then started stair stepping its way up. But I mean, it could be bullish. But right now, you're in a holding pattern. This is chop. This is chop. This is good old fashioned chop. You don't want to get caught up in it, especially if you're leverage trading, unless you really know what you're doing, because this could be a beautiful range just to sit and leverage trade. But there's bullishness and bearishness in this, hence the two spinning bottoms right there, or they could be considered spinning tops. It's just indecision in the market. This is sideways, and my guess is to wait until inauguration. Inauguration, that's when you're really going to see the move. So it's Bitcoin. Just chill out. Quit calling people names for being bearish. Everything's going to be okay. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask.